And the limited supply of vaccines in Africa at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic suggested new ways to enable the continent become self-sufficient in vaccine production. The International Vaccine Institute is proposing the establishment of an African Vaccines Alliance to realize this goal. There's more.
According to Dr. Kim, the IVI resolved that Africa should be independent in vaccine manufacturing.
So AVA is the African Vaccines Alliance, and it's not a new idea. But I think that one of the things that we saw during the COVID pandemic is that Africa should no longer be dependent on other countries, on the goodwill of others, for vaccine technology that will prevent death, save lives on the continent. The only way we can do that is to develop sustainable vaccine manufacturing in Africa. And that will be a rather difficult task because right now Africa manufactures less than 1% of its own vaccines. So there's clearly a great need. We think that one of the lessons from the pandemic was that we need to have it. And the question is, how do we do it? IVI believes that it isn't just manufacturing. Manufacturing by itself will make a shell, a factory. And it may or may not be making vaccines the next time a pandemic comes around. So what we really need to do is develop the end-to-end research and development infrastructure that will support sustainable vaccine manufacturing in the end. And this means it starts in a laboratory in Africa. It goes to the manufacture of those vaccines and the testing of those vaccines in subjects, in volunteers in Africa, proving the vaccine is safe and efficacious. That is, it works to prevent disease in Africa, and then working with the manufacturer to ensure that the vaccines will be approved by regulatory authorities, for instance here in Ghana, and then by the WHO, which will allow the vaccine then to be used throughout the continent and actually throughout the world. So the goal here is to not only innovate for Africa, but to innovate within Africa for global health.
The delegation visited the KNUST IVI Collaborative Center at Asante Achimagogo, which was established through a partnership with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The team also paid a courtesy call at the Noguchi Memorial Institute, PATH, National Vaccine Institute, National Immunization Technical Advisory Group, Government Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Insiasare, KNUST Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Kusia-Dixon, and management of Agogo Presbyterian Hospital. Managing Director of DEK Limited, Dr. Kofi Siapuku, also accompanied the team.
We will start with the liquid vaccines, so we are going to do malaria, we are going to do OCV, PCV, rotavirus, and also HPV. So there are about 6 vaccines we are going to start. And the next phase, we are going to do also the freeze-dried vaccines. So we'll move into MR, we'll move into BCG, yellow fever, and meningitis also.
Reporting for Joyce, Kwesi Deborah.